Welcome to Fluent Vibes, my friends. I'm so excited to take you on a journey today, a journey back in time to explore the incredible and mysterious ways ancient civilizations learned languages. This is not just about memorizing words from a textbook or clicking buttons on an app. No, today we're going to dive deep into the fascinating and emotional methods the ancients used to master languages. Can you imagine a world where language wasn't just about exchanging words, but about connecting to the very heart and soul of the culture? Where each word you learned carried not just meaning, but a deep emotional bond? Well, that's exactly what we're going to uncover today. We're going to explore how ancient Egyptians, Greeks, Chinese, and Indians learned languages in ways that we, even in this advanced age, could only dream of. So sit back, get comfortable, and let's dive into some of the most profound and inspiring language learning methods that have been passed down through the ages. Are you ready? I bet you are. Let's start with ancient Egypt. Now, we've all seen those iconic images of Egyptian hieroglyphs, right? Those beautiful, intricate symbols etched into stone, painted on tomb walls, and carved into temples. But have you ever wondered what it was like for the ancient Egyptians to learn their language? I mean, think about it. No schoolrooms, no internet, no textbooks. How did they learn these symbols that carry such weight, such power? These hieroglyphs weren't just pictures or simple representations. They were alive, full of meaning, emotion, and spiritual significance. Picture yourself in the ancient world. You're in the midst of a temple in Thebes, or perhaps Alexandria, surrounded by scribes who are carefully inscribing these symbols onto papyrus. They're not just writing for the sake of writing. No. Each symbol represents a piece of a larger story, a deeper understanding of life itself. And it's not just about memorizing each symbol. It's about connecting to the very essence of what those symbols mean. Every line, every curve carries emotion, culture, and in many ways, the divine. Can you imagine feeling that as you learned? The Egyptian scribes would learn through repetition, yes, but it wasn't just rote memorization. They would live these symbols, feel the stories they told, and through this process, they would internalize the language in ways we might never fully understand today. The belief was that by learning the language of the gods, the learner could connect with the divine. The power that came with knowing these symbols wasn't just about being able to read or write. It was about understanding the universe itself. In Egypt, language was an experience, something you lived through, not something you simply learned. Learning a language like this would have made you feel like you were becoming one with the world around you, with nature, and with the very fabric of existence. Can you feel that? Imagine immersing yourself in a world where every word you learned was charged with spiritual energy. Isn't that amazing? Now, let's shift gears and head to ancient Greece. Ah, Greece, land of philosophers, warriors, and thinkers who changed the very course of history. When we think of ancient Greece, we think of those great minds, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. But what's even more amazing than the ideas they shared is the way they used language to shape the world around them. Now think about this. Imagine you're standing in the bustling agora in Athens, surrounded by great philosophers engaging in passionate debates. You're not just learning words, you're learning how to think, how to reason, challenge, and create new ideas. Language here wasn't just about speaking, it was about thinking at the highest level possible. And here's where it gets emotional. Language wasn't just about conveying information. No, it was about creating an emotional response, about sparking ideas and feeling them deeply. These Greek thinkers didn't just teach you vocabulary, they taught you to question everything, to look at the world in a new way, to feel language in your soul. Can you imagine learning a language that didn't just teach you how to communicate, but made you transform the way you saw everything? You'd be learning to shape reality itself with the power of language. It's hard to imagine a method so deep, so intense, that the very act of speaking and thinking in this language would change you at your core. That's the power of ancient Greek. And here's the thing. Language in Greece was closely tied to philosophy, which means the Greeks didn't just want you to talk. They wanted you to feel the power of language as a force to challenge the status quo, to create meaning, and to understand the world on a completely different level. Language wasn't just a tool. It was a weapon of thought, of change, of revolution. Now let's journey east to ancient China. Oh, China, what a world of language. Here we encounter something so beautiful, so intricate, that it will truly take your breath away. The Chinese writing system is like no other. It's not just a set of symbols, it's a piece of art. Each character represents something far deeper than a simple word. It carries meaning, emotion, and even philosophy within its very form. Learning this language wasn't just about memorizing characters. No, it was about feeling them, understanding the rhythm of each stroke, and connecting to the soul of the culture itself. Imagine you're learning Chinese in the ancient world. You're sitting in a room with a calligraphy master, watching as he carefully paints each stroke. Each character comes to life before your eyes. You're not just memorizing symbols, you're becoming them. Every character has its own story, its own rhythm, and its own meaning. When you write the character for peace, or strength, or love, you're not just writing, you're feeling the energy of that word, living it as you create it on the paper. It's like each stroke carries you deeper into the world of ancient China, a world where language is tied to spirit, to history, to culture. In ancient China, language wasn't just something to be learned. It was something to be felt, something to be experienced in the deepest sense. Each character was a doorway into a larger world of meaning and emotion. So can you imagine learning in this way? Can you feel the power behind each stroke? Isn't that mind-blowing? Language becomes more than just communication. It becomes a form of art, a living, breathing connection to the very soul of the culture. This is why language was never just about speaking. It was about becoming part of something far greater than yourself. And finally, let's talk about ancient India, where language learning took on a profoundly spiritual and mystical quality. In India, the ancient language of Sanskrit wasn't just a way to speak or write. It was a vibration, a sound that carried divine power. Imagine this. You're learning to chant the sacred syllables of Sanskrit, repeating them over and over. As you speak, you feel each sound vibrate deep within your chest, in your very soul. The sounds themselves are said to have a cosmic energy, a connection to the universe and to the divine. Each chant is a prayer, a meditation, a way to connect to something greater than yourself. It's not about memorizing words, it's about feeling the power of each sound, about experiencing the rhythm of the language as it resonates through your body, your mind, and your spirit. This is what makes Sanskrit so incredibly unique. It's not just a language, it's a spiritual practice, a way to align yourself with the universe. Can you imagine learning a language in this way? It's not just an intellectual pursuit. It's a soulful pursuit, a way to awaken something deep within you. Each word you speak connects you to the divine, to the universe, and to the very essence of life itself. And in that moment, language becomes more than just communication. It becomes a sacred act. Isn't that mind-blowing? So, what do all these ancient methods have in common? They're all about more than just words. They're about connection, deep, profound connection to the culture, to the people, and to the very essence of life itself. Learning a language wasn't about memorizing vocabulary and grammar. It was about becoming the language, living it, feeling it. And here's the takeaway for us today. Perhaps, just perhaps, we've lost a little of that deep, emotional connection to language in our fast-paced, tech-driven world. We focus so much on memorization, on perfection, that we forget about the deeper, more immersive aspects of language learning. What if, instead of just learning words, we started feeling them? What if we connected to language in the same way the ancients did, through emotion, immersion, and spirituality? Could we, too, unlock a deeper understanding of language? Could we tap into that ancient power of connection? I think we can. So, let's remember the wisdom of the ancients. Language is not just about speaking. It's about feeling, living, and becoming. The next time you sit down to learn a language, try to truly feel it. Experience it in your body, in your heart, in your soul. Dive deep, connect with it, and you might discover that learning a language is far more than just a way to communicate. It's a way to transform how you see the entire world. Thank you for joining me today on Fluent Vibes. I hope this journey has inspired you to approach language learning with fresh eyes and a full heart. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired.